These passengers just wanted to use the bathroom and to get a bite to eat on their travels. Most of the Freedom Riders who set off in the spring of 1961 were volunteers from the Congress of Racial Equality, or CORE, or the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, and ranged from retired citizens to young students. The Freedom Riders were attacked and greeted with terrifying violence in Alabama and forced to abandon the original Freedom Ride in Montgomery. Massive press coverage encouraged hundreds more Freedom Riders to follow their example. Today, we'll listen in on their conversations during their travels.
All right, you kids, come on, get on this bus. I ain't got all day. Let's get this show on the road. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I know this is just the beginning, but like our brothers and sisters in 1947, we're going to prove that the only rights are equal rights.
Yeah, right on, sister.
That's right.
It's not all fun and games. You really need to understand what we're facing. You have to ask yourself, are you ready for it?
Ready for what?
Are you ready to see the real face of racism? We're not just planning sit-ins on campus. You're not going to be home in the morning. Are you ready for what waits for us out on that road? Are you ready for prison?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I served in the Army in Vietnam and came back and was considered a second-class citizen. So yes, I'm ready. I know that if prison is a part of my imminent future, that means that my destiny is just around the corner. So yes, I'm ready. I most definitely am ready.
Like I said, this is just the beginning. Today we make our mark in history. We're going to prove that the only rights are equal rights.
The only rights is equal rights. The only rights is equal rights. The only rights is equal rights.
Y'all got one more right.
Yeah, what's that?
I'm gonna stop this bus right now, and we're going to the bathroom.
Amen.
All
Amen.
right, let's take a break. Look this way. Come on, this way. And check them out. Go ahead. Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
And that concludes part one of our play. And we'll now move on to part two of today's play.
All right, you kids, let's get back on the bus. Time to roll. Get on or get left. Come on here. Get it moving. Come on. They ain't gonna pull on back then. Yeah, get it moving.
Did you see how they looked at us? Such hate.
You gotta stay strong, son. You gotta be strong. You know, we're here in this area in Virginia where it's more tolerant than where we're gonna be headed to down in the deep south. Tell you.
I know what you're talking about, my brother. My family's from St. Augustine, Florida. My father told me he was raised to hold his head down. Eye contact with the wrong white man can get you killed. So he raised me to hold my head up, hold my God first, and to not let anything hold me back.
That's
Hold my head up, hold my God first, and don't let anything hold me back.
Hold my head up, hold my God first, and don't let anything hold me back.
All right. Hold my head up, hold my God first, and don't let anything hold me back.
Hold my head up, hold my God first, and don't let anything hold me back.
Hold my head up, hold my God first, don't let anything hold me back. Hold my head up, hold my God first, don't let anything hold me back. Hold my head up, hold my God first, don't let anything
Riders one more time. Again, I just want to give it up one more time for the actors and assistant courts for helping direct this whole play. When I wrote this piece, it was loosely based on a conversation that I would figure that they would have had. In Virginia, when the Freedom Riders were actually traveling, the Virginians tried to pull a fast one on them, and they integrated the rest stops just so they could not have any controversy. So they put some black people that they planted in there. But I'm sure that the individuals that looked at them still looked at them with the look of disgrace or a hate in their eyes. So I wanted to write that piece. But we all know that the Freedom Riders faced something far more severe once they actually got to Alabama.
That's right.
And I'm working with a young artist, young black guy. He's going to make paintings based off of every theme for this month. He has last month's theme, but it's at his house. And we will be displaying that at the brunch. But he gave me this week's theme for the Freedom Rides. These are all original paintings that he's done on his own. I want the gentleman to see it as well.
That's excellent.
We will be raffling tickets for some of these paintings. Raffle tickets are 3 tickets for $5, 8 tickets for $10, and 20 tickets for $20. You can see me at the church for those tickets. But the art is all original and it's his, and you can take a closer look at it later, but it is beautiful. He's just helping us out by putting these paintings based on the themes that God has worked with us to plan throughout the course of this month. I do again want to thank the actors. I want to thank Valeska because of my classes. I'm not able to practice with everyone, but she got these guys doing a great job. So again, thank you all. And now we can move on with our regularly scheduled program. Mel Quiet. Y'all tell that.
Got to keep on pushing. Can't stop now. Moving up on the higher. Some way, somehow. 'Cause I got my strength. There is a word. Amen. Coming out of Genesis 37, the 23rd through the 28th verses. Reading out of the New Living Translation, it says, So, when Joseph arrived, his brothers ripped off his beautiful robe he was wearing. Then they grabbed him, threw him into a cistern, and now the cistern was empty, which is a hole, a pit. Now, and there was no water in it. Then, just as they were sitting down to eat, they looked up and saw a caravan of camels in the distance coming towards them. It was a group of Ishmaelites, teachers, taking a load of gum, traders taking a load of gum, balm, and aromatic resin from Gilead down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, What will we gain by killing our brother? We had to cover up the crime. Instead of hurting him, let's sell him to those Ishmaelite traders. After all, he's our brother, our own flesh and blood. And his brothers agreed. So when the Ishmaelites, who were Midianite traders, came by Joseph's brothers, they pulled him out the well and sold him for 20 pieces of silver. And the traders took him to Egypt. We're going to take for a title or a subject on this narrative sermon on this morning, Don't give up just because you had a bad chapter in your story.
Amen.
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 Can't stop, won't stop.
Amen.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you again for this day. We thank you again for this moment in time to present your word to your people. We ask you, God, to hide your servant behind the cross, that your people will see none of me and all of thee. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, Fairfield Baptist Church. My name is Joseph. Not Joseph Highsmith, but Joseph, the son of Jacob. My story, where we pick this story up on today, is when my own brothers, my own flesh and blood, the folk that are supposed to be down with me for whatever, my day ones, my ace boom coons, supposed to have been rolling with me, but they decided to throw me in a well. They decided to throw me in a pit. They decided to sell their brother into slavery. They decided that they would be better off with me not around, but with me in captivity. See, the beginning of this story, we start off with my father. I start off telling y'all about my father. And my father, his name is Jacob. Right. And many of you Bible scholars know Jacob because he was a twin, Jacob and Esau. Right. Jacob means to follow, to be behind, but it also means to supplant, to circumvent, to assail or overreach. In other words, it means that he was a heel. And if any of y'all looked at WWE wrestling, you know there are heroes and there are heels and villains. And the villain will always do something silly to make you not like them. And Jacob was the villain of the family. He didn't even want his brother to come out the womb without them being attached to him. So as Esau was being birthed, Jacob had him by his ankle. There's some amazing things that happen in the Bible where we find later on that Jesus' cousin John had the Holy Ghost while they was in the womb, but my father was strong enough and they were fighting in the womb that he didn't even want Esau to come out first, because in biblical days, the firstborn got all the good stuff. Yeah. And so now Jacob, because he still, even when he was in his mother's womb, he still wanted all the stuff. So the mama and him conspired to trick the daddy. So my family ain't been all right all the time, even though I'm in the Bible. My family has some jacked up situations, even though I'm in the Bible. My family has some circumstances that didn't always line up to being holy and sanctified, even though we're in the Bible. My family has some issues, but just because your family have issues, you can't stop, won't stop. So now here I come on the scene. We have to understand where I came from. My mama's name was Rachel, and Rachel was was Jacob, the one Jacob wanted to marry, but Jacob ended up getting tricked like he ended up tricking his dad, and Jacob got tricked. My daddy got tricked into marrying Leah. Leah had weak eyes. That means she might have been cross-sided. She couldn't see. She didn't look as good as my mama looked. My mama was fine. The other ladies just weren't so fine. My daddy didn't even want to marry her, but he got tricked into marrying her, and then he had to end up putting more years on the farm than he wanted to just because he wanted to marry my mama. See, even my granddaddy had some messed up issues.
That's right.
But here it is now. Leah was having all the babies. My mama won't have none. The one my daddy really loved could not have children. Until one day, my mom and my dad's prayers were answered. And here I come on the scene. And because I was the child that my daddy really wanted, my daddy treated me extra special. And so he gave me this robe of many colors. And this is all I got left, because if you read the story, my brothers ripped my robe off me and they threw me in the well. And this is all I got left of my pretty robe that my daddy bought me. I think some of these fellas back here was part of my brother's crew, because they got on kind of the same type colors too. You gotta watch who you be around.
That's right.
I had some special gifts. And one day I had a dream. If you go back in verse 5 and read it, one day I had a dream. And I had a dream that me and my brothers was in the field. I had a dream that we were bundling up all the hay. And my bales of hay stood up while their bales of hay bowed down. You can't tell everybody your dream.
Yeah.
Because they can't accept what God is about to do for you in your life.
That's right.
And so when I went around with my colorful coat, my proud coat that my daddy got me, and because my daddy loved me, and I went to tell my brothers got mad. My brothers said, oh, you think we gonna bow down to you? You ain't nothing but the little brother. You ain't nothing but the baby boy. You think we gonna bow down to you? You got another thing coming. But I just kept telling them, because I knew it was from God. I just kept telling them everything that God had showed me. And I just kept telling them, sometimes I learned that day, you need to just shut your mouth.
Yep.
So here it is now. My brothers was working out in the field, and my daddy sent me on the mission to check up on my brothers, because I had been telling them all the other wicked stuff they had been doing. And so my daddy was getting all the good reports from me, and I didn't tell him nothing that I did, because ain't none of us perfect, but I just told everything my brothers did, and they was doing stuff wrong, and they was doing this and doing that, and I kept telling on them, but my daddy kept sending me out there to check up on my brothers, and one day my brothers got mad. My brothers got angry, got upset, and they saw me coming, and they plotted against me. They were going to kill me. Until one of my other brothers, Reuben, said, no, let's not kill him. Let's do something. We don't want to kill him. Because then Reuben was a good brother. He was one of my best friends. And Reuben was going to come and save me after the other brothers left. So I'm walking down the street, munching my hand, checking on my brothers, gonna tell what they doing wrong today. That's my job, to tell on my brothers. Don't be no snitch. You find yourself in the pit, you keep on snitching. Another saying is snitches get stitches. Amen. Y'all know that. Okay, gotcha. I'm in the right place. So I went, my brothers saw me, and they beat me up. My own flesh and blood beat me up. Threw me down in a ditch. Threw me, and they said, no, we're not going to kill him. But what we going to do? So they just beat me up, and then they sitting on the side of the road eating their lunch. Some folk don't care what they do to you, and they just carry on about their life. Don't get discouraged about the folk that don't care nothing about you. Because they're going to carry on about their life, and you're going to be wondering why they do that. So here it is now. I done told them of my dream. I got a dysfunctional family, and now I'm sitting here wondering what's going to happen next. Many of us sit in our lives wondering what's going to happen next. Many of us get discouraged because a lot of us have a chapter 37 in our lives, and it's all messed up, it's all jacked up, it's all distorted, and we are sitting there in the middle of our chapter 37 and can't figure out, how did I end up in this pit? But then they sold me. I thought it was the worst thing that could happen. They sold me to some traitors. I didn't die, but they sold me. I was hurt and I was beat up. My clothes, my clothes was ripped. The coat that my daddy bought me was torn to shreds. But they sold me. And they sold me to some traders, and those traders ended up taking me to Egypt. And those traders, when they took me to Egypt, they ended up selling me to somebody else. It seemed like 400 years ago, somebody took us and sold us, and they kept selling us and traded us to somebody else. But thanks be unto God, the lineage still lives on.
Yes.
Thanks be unto God, we might have a chapter 37, but the story did not end in chapter 37. They messed up when they sold me. When you had a chance to kill me, you should have killed me, because now I can fulfill the destiny that God already brought me through. So here it is in my messed up state, my mental state. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. They sold me to some traders. Then the traders end up taking me to Egypt and selling me to Potiphar. And Potiphar was the chief general in the army. So now I had access where I ain't had no access before. I was in a kingdom where I ain't know nothing about. I was in a place in a foreign land that I couldn't figure out what was right and what was wrong. But I remembered the dream that God gave me. And it's way too many of us get frustrated in that chapter 37 and forget that the story is not over. Chapter 38 and chapter 39 allows us to know that not only did I keep dreaming, but I was put in a place where the king now wanted me to be. See, a lot of times we get frustrated being in a racist place called the United States of America. We get upset because 45 and the government and the laws have always treated us like second class or second-hand citizens. We get upset because now we're sitting in a place where we help develop, help cultivate, and almost every modern invention came from black people, where we can't get all the stuff that's due to us because no one accepts us how we are. We got Indian tribes more together than the black folk. We got Indian tribes more together than us being able to say we're going to stop shooting and killing each other for a dime bag of weed. We got Indian tribes more together than us killing each other over a pair of shoes. We got folk where we put so much material stuff in place over where God's supposed to be, and wonder why we are losing at a rapid rate, because we care more about the stuff on the outside than the God spirit of us in the inside. But I was in a place where I didn't know. I was in a place where I still had to be a servant, but I was in a place where God now, because I'm isolated, can start doing more and more. And see, my chapter 37 was jacked up, but chapter 38 and chapter 39 started to reveal who I'm supposed to be. Sometimes your chapter 38 and 39 starts revealing who you really are supposed to be. Too many of us get frustrated with life is because we had a dream from God and then we forgot the dream. This ain't the I have a dream speech. This is the dream that God has given each and every one of us to be able to see in the spiritual form, the physical form, and the mental form. And God and the devil wants to mess up our mentality by messing up our physical and our spiritual, because we forgot what God has already promised us. God can promote you even in jacked up situations. God can elevate you even in messed up situations. And so now I'm in a messed up situation, but I had something that somebody needed. And And so since I was an interpreter of dreams and I was smart, I was intelligent, even though people didn't want to believe I was intelligent because they were trying to judge me on the color of my skin, not the content of my character. People wanted me to act ignorant. People wanted to classify me as ghetto. But what is ghetto? Ghetto is not black or white. Ghetto is a state of mind. Ghetto is not what the color of your skin is. Ghetto is a place where you live at because it was deprived of resources. We look at it now just like in Richmond, Virginia, where we got 25 grocery stores in Chesterfield, 42 grocery stores in Henrico, but only 3 in the city of Richmond. And if you don't have no food, you can't grow. Amen, somebody. That's geopolitical stuff.
Go ahead, Doc.
And they got this whole new project, because I'm about to get real Richmond right quick. They got this whole new project they want to develop downtown called the Navy Hill, but you still ain't seen that one grocery store being developed. Where we want entertainment and restaurants over education and the general needs. Where they putting folk out of the place they classify as the ghetto and still raise the rent up 5 times for folk that can't now afford to live there.
That's right. Say so.
And they make this thing about, and they try to draw us in with a word called affordable housing. But what is affordable housing? Because I don't know what you can afford, and you definitely don't know what I can afford.
That's right.
But in all of this, you have to have faith. You have to be willing to have faith in God, in God's plan. That God's plan is right when everything seems to be going left. God's plan told me that I was going to be a king. My brothers was going to bow down to me. I told my brothers this, and they didn't believe me. They got mad. They got jealous. I told my brothers what was going to happen. But then one day a famine hit the land. And the folk that sold me had to come to me. The folk that mess you over gonna eventually have to come to you for you to bless them. So when they showed up, I knew who they were, but they ain't know who I was.
That's right.
You know how it is when you get a little older, you seem like you're the same age forever. And we know black don't. And folks still think you 35 when you 52. And the only reason they know you're a little bit older because you don't walk as smooth as you used to. The only reason they know you older because your hair on the top of your head is gone. And if you was 30 or something, and your hair was gone for at least 20, 40 years, I had hair one time. When I first set foot in this church to preach, I had cornrows with colorful rubber bands in the back of my head. I wish I could grow a corn or a roll right now. But when they showed up, they didn't know who I was, but I knew exactly who they were. Because it seemed like even though I've been gone for a long time, and I had to grow up because I was a young boy, but now I'm a grown man. And the things that I put away, childish things, and I was transformed into somebody that was a strategist, somebody that knew what he was talking about, and somebody that was chief over all the goods. Now you come to me and ask me to bless you after you did what I did. But God had already, see, here it is now. Negroes, I'm about to say something else, but Negroes always want to get revenge. Revenge, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I ain't got to give revenge. God gonna make you ashamed to even talk to me.
Amen.
So when my brothers came, they ain't know who I was, but when I stepped into the light, when I stepped into the light, my brother Reuben, the one that wanted to save me, recognized exactly who I am. And so, what I did, or what had to happen before I stepped in the light, they had to bow down. Don't give up because your chapter 37 is rough.
That's right.
The Freedom Riders didn't give up.
No, they didn't.
The Tuskegee Airmen didn't give up. The men fighting for a country that didn't even want them to fight didn't give up. Dr. King didn't give up. George Tyler didn't give up.
Right.
When we was barely bringing in $200 a year, the church still came staying on.
That's right.
Even when we had to sell fish dinners to keep stuff on, the people of Fairfield Baptist Church didn't give up. And now, I ain't saying we rich and got a whole bunch of money, because we don't, but we get upset when we have to pay out a little bit of change now.
That's right.
Just because we didn't make as much money or bring in as much money as the previous year, don't mean we got to give up.
Amen.
It means we have to do more.
Hallelujah.
Because here it is now. It ain't about always begging the people in the church. It's about allowing God to bless you beyond measure.
Amen.
But you got to be put in a position where God can bless you.
Yeah.
They might have messed over you. They might have beat you up. They might have sold you into slavery. But that was the plan that God had, to be able to put him in a place to bless his dad. Sometimes you got to be put in a place of hardship. You got to put in a place of transgression. You got to be put in a place where it seems like you can't even see up. But as long as I can lift my head towards the hill, which cometh my help, and my help comes from the Lord, as long as I can open my eyes and see the sky, as long as I got breath in my body, I have to have faith that God is going to do what he says he is going to do. Listen, man can lie all he wants, but I have found in my faith that God is not a liar. Your story does not end because you had a bad chapter. Your story does not end because you had some messed up situation. They tell me about a man that came through 42 generations. They said he was born in a manger. He was born in a messed up place. A place where the cows and the sheep ate in. And many of us can't go to a messed up restaurant and we don't want to eat there. But Jesus was born in a manger. He was plotted on to be killed when he was just a baby boy. He had to escape to Egypt. And if I know Egypt is in Africa, Egypt is a place in a continent where the motherland is. So when they tell you that Jesus went to escape to Egypt, I can't go to Switzerland and hide out because I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. When they tell you this is a white man's religion, tell them about the escape of Jesus from Israel to Africa. And Africa is a place where we got colors, a place where we can celebrate, a place where we can dance. And they tried to bring Africa to America and thought they was going to change our heritage, thought they was going to change our culture. Just because you put me here don't mean I got to change exactly who I am. And there is something deep inside me that our roots are planted strongly in the ground. This is about Jesus Christ. This story did not end with the escape to Africa because he had to go back home. Every now and then you done went somewhere, did some stuff that you're not proud of. But guess what? You can come back home. Even the boy man's son that went out and spent all his money and was bottled up in the pig pen. He had to come back to his senses and come back home. You could have been a drug dealer, you could have been a pimp or a prostitute, but Jesus Christ is here just for you. He said, I come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. And abundant life is in Jesus Christ. You might not have all the money of Warren Buffett. You might not be as crazy and as sinister as Donald J. Trump. But here it is. If he said he believed in a Jesus and want Jesus to forgive all his transgressions, my Savior is faithful and he is just and he'll forgive him. That ain't my word. That's the word of God. So Jesus was in a messed up situation. Jesus had to go at 12 years old to the church and start teaching the folk, the philosophers, the scribes, the religious folk about the word of God and what it really means. And here it is now. Jesus, at 30 years old, started ministry. At 33 years old, he was hanging on a cross. Jesus was in a messed up situation. He was beaten all night long. When he said, I was wounded for your transgression, bruised for your iniquity. He was in a messed up situation. Jesus had a chapter 37. They hung him high and stretched him wide. But the story did not end there, because they tell me on the third day, early on Sunday morning, he got out with all power in his hand. In Matthew 28, he said, go ye therefore. Not just come to church. Go ye therefore. Not just come to Sunday school. Go ye therefore. Not just come to Wednesday night Bible study.
That's right.
Go ye therefore, teaching, baptizing the straight people, the good people, the right people, the righteous folk. No. He said all people. He wants the sinners and the saints. He wants the straight and the gay. And whatever you call yourself, he wants you to. Because this Bible does not discriminate. This word does not discriminate. My brothers discriminated against me. Tried to put me in the pit so they would never see me in the again. But here it is now. His word did not return void. His word was what? Paid in full. And whenever you feel like giving up, you can take the words of Puff Daddy Cole. I can't stop and I won't stop, because God is not through with me yet. Don't give up because of a bad shot.
If there's anybody in here that do not know the Lord for themselves, that do not have a relationship with God, that don't know that